Hello students, welcome back to the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Students, in the previous video we discussed about formation of fruits and seeds, whereas today in this lecture 16 we will discuss about fruits, seeds and their significances. So first of all, what is a fruit? We know that fruit is a ripened fertilized ovary. After the fertilization, ovary will become fruit, wall of the ovary become wall of the fruit. So the fruits which are there, they can be systematically classified into two types as a true fruit and false fruit. Then what is a true fruit? A fruit developing from ovary of the gynoecium. If ovary is converted into fruit, then it is called as a true fruit. If the fruit develops from part other than the ovary of the gynoecium, then it is called as what? False fruit. So let's try to understand these two later. Now coming to after the fertilization, ovary wall will become fruit wall and fruit wall is called as pericarp, and pericarp is usually differentiated into three layers as see here. Outer green colored structure in mango is called epicarp, the middle pulpy region which is edible is called mesocarp, and the central region where usually the seed will be present is called as an endocarp. Okay, so true fruits are classified into the fleshy fruit. Okay, epicarp is outermost layer, mesocarp is this pulpy layer, and where the seeds are present, that portion is called endocarp, and this is a fruit which is developing from many carpillary, polycarpillary, syncarpous, superior, gynoecium having a flower. So such a type of fruit is called as a berry. So here it is, that was a true fruit. Now coming to an apple. Apple, if we take the labelings, see students, epicarp is this yellow colored area. Okay, so this is epicarp. If you have eaten the apple, you will be knowing a plasticky layer will be there, that becomes epicarp, and a thick portion will be there, okay, next to seed, that is called mesocarp, and the region where the seed is present is called as an endocarp. That means the part which we are edible is not ovary, it is the thalamus. So which part we are eating, students? We are eating thalamus, correct? So if the fruit is developing from part other than the ovary, thalamus is not a part of the ovary, then such a type of fruit is called as a false fruit. Example is a pome, and for that best is a apple. Mostly the fruits are formed after the fertilization, but there are many fruits which develop without fertilization. In the previous video we have understood what is that called as parthenocarpy, correct? The best example for parthenocarpic fruit is banana. Natural parthenocarpic fruit it is. Now what are the significances of the fruit? Correct? Fruits are the sources of food for different type of the animals, correct, and they are used for raising the plants as they'll have seeds in them. Now let us try to understand the miniature of the future plant, and that is called seed. What is a seed? Seed is a matured integumented megasporangium which is a miniature of the future plant, and it can be defined as a ripened fertilized ovule which develops after the process of what? Fertilization. Okay, ovule will be converted into seed, that's why seed is called a ripened fertilized ovule, and this seed contains an embryo which will be with a stored food material, correct? Now seeds, when we consider, the seeds are covered with the two types of the coverings, and they are called coats. Outer covering is called as a testa, whereas the inner covering of the seed is called as a tegumen, which are developed from outer and inner integuments of the ovule respectively. Now embryonic plant will be there which will be containing the seed, will be made up of a primary axis and cotyledons, correct? Now let us try to understand about the types of the seeds now. There are two subjects are there to classify the seeds, or seeds can be classified based on two criterias. One is based upon the number of cotyledons present, and the second one is based upon the presence or absence of endosperm. Based upon the number of cotyledons present, seeds can be classified into two categories. Number of cotyledons, if they are two, then it is called dicotyledonous seed or a dicot seed. If the cotyledons are one, then it is called as a monocotyledonous seed or monocot seed. Dicot seed, bean is a best example. Monocot seed, any of the grains like wheat, jawar, etc. can be taken as an example. Now, based on presence or absence of the endosperm, the seeds can be classified into two types as endospermic seed. Again, example is a wheat, whereas the non-endospermic seed, where the endosperm will be consumed by the developing embryo. Endospermic seeds are a one where the endosperm will be present. Endosperm is a nutritive layer for the developing embryo. If part of endosperm is remaining, then it is called endospermic. If the endosperm is consumed by the developing embryo, then it is called as what? Non-endospermic. Most of the dicot seeds become what? Non-endospermic seeds. Now, coming to further details of these seeds. Seed is a ripened fertilized ovule, correct? So, the green colored portion which is there, that was ovary with one locule with the many ovules. That ovary is converted into fruit, whereas the ovules which were there, they are converted into what, students? Seed. That's why we call seed as a ripened fertilized ovule, fruit as a ripened fertilized ovary. Now, this is the picture of the ovule where it is having outer and inner integuments. The integuments, as we know, they'll give rise to seed coat. The outer integument develops into a hard seed coat called as a testa, whereas the inner integument develops into a thin plasticate layer called as a tegumen. The small opening which will be there, that is the portion of the embryo sac which is not covered by the integument, is called micropyle, and micropyle remains as a small hole in the seed which helps in the process of seed germination by imbibing the water. Now, coming to structure of dicot seed. So, this is a structure of the dicot seed where the seed is said to be usually in kidney shaped. Outer seed coat is called testa and inner seed coat is called tegma, and as I said, the micropyle will be left, correct, and as a small hole, and the part where the funicle was attached, that is called as a hilum. Okay. Now, the testa and tegma will be there. Testa will be hard and tegma will be papery, and inside the seed there will be presence of what? Embryo. Now, if you consider this as an embryo, the central portion of that is called embryonal axis. The portion above the embryonal axis is called plumule. Plumule will develop in future shoot system, whereas the portion below the embryonal axis is called radicle. Radicle in future develops into root system. So, how many cotyledons are there? 2 cotyledons are there. So, it is called as a dicot seed, and it will be swollen due to the presence of the food in it. Correct? So, this is once again the dicot seed, a part of axis lying towards the micropyle of embryo sac is called hypocotyle. That is, a region below the embryonal axis is called hypocotyle, and its extreme tip, okay, this extreme tip which is there, that is called as radicle, and tissue covering will be there, and that is called as a root cap. And part above the embryonal axis is called epicotyle. Epi means above, correct, and this epicotyle will be not covered by any of the cap, and it is going to develop into plumule, and plumule develops into what? Shoot system. Now, coming to monocotyledonous seeds, as we know, monocot seeds will be made up of a single cotyledon, and they are usually with endosperm. Best example to study is a maize seed and also caryopsis seed. In almost all the monocotyledonous seed, fruit wall and seed coat will be fused. We cannot separate the pericarp from the seed coat. So, such a structure which will be there is called as a hull. Okay, and below the hull there will be a proteinaceous layer, and that is called aleuron layer. A large yellow space will be present inside the embryo, and that is called endosperm. Monocot embryo, let us try to understand. The development of monocot embryo is similar to that of development of dicot embryo. The only difference is in dicot there are two cotyledons, and in monocot there is only one cotyledon, and the one cotyledon of the monocot embryo is called as a scutellum. So you have to remember this. The lower end of the embryo is called scutellum. Now see here, the lower end is having coleorrhiza, which is a protective covering on the radicle, and as we know, radicle develops into root system. Higher end of the embryo which is there, that is called coleoptile, and below that the region which is there is called plumule, and plumule develops into shoot system. Now let us try to understand the significances of the seeds and the fruits. So what are the significances of the seeds and fruits? Correct? The distribution and dominance of the angiosperm on earth is only because of the seeds. Why? The seeds can be stored and can be used in the sowing process, that is in the germination process. And almost all the angiosperm seeds have a capacity to remain dormant. Dormant is a temporary time of suspension of growth or no growth period. Dormancy can be controlled by presence of different type of growth inhibitors in the seed, which is going to prevent seed germination. This makes man unable to store the seeds for many years. During this period, seeds can be dispersed, that is it can get transferred to different places. So zygote produced by cryptogams germinate immediately, that is in cryptogams like algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes, the zygote will germinate immediately, whereas in gymnosperm and angiosperm, seeds have a capacity to remain dormant. That is the one advantage. The second advantage is viability. Functional ability of a seed to germinate after a considerable period of dormancy is called viability. That is, for how many days or how many years the seed can remain in the dormant condition, or its ability to germinate after dormant condition is called viability. Germination can be delayed till onset of the favorable conditions. See students, we can store the seed for a longer duration, and once we soak the seed in the water or once we sow the seed in the soil, they start germinating. So this makes a farmer to store the seeds for many years. Seeds are the source of reserve food. They contain that is food material which will be actually a food for developing embryo, correct? And food will be present in the form of endosperm. So the seeds which are there will remain in dormant condition, and the reserve food will be there, and this will help in the germination of a seed into seedling. Okay, then protective coats will be present around the seed. The outer coat is called testa, which is hard, and inner coat is called as a tegma. Testa gives protection against what? Against mechanical shocks, against fluctuation in temperature, against dry condition, and also many a times against animal eat fruits and throw away the seed. So what happens in this way? Animals will start eating fruit in one place and they'll throw the seeds in other place, and as a result of this, dispersal of the seeds takes place from one place to another. If the seeds are consumed, they are not digested due to the hard seed coat and removed through the excreta. So that also helps in the seed dispersal. Let us try to understand what is dispersal by taking a beautiful image of the Calotropis. Seeds produce various structures like wings, like pappus calyx, that is a persistent hairy, hooks or sticky substances, and active or passively they will be transferred to distant places because of this structure. Here in the given image you might have seen this seed. This is called parachute mechanism of seed dispersal due to the cottony outgrowth. Like that, seed gets dispersed from one place to another. This is the picture of all fruits which are edible. Many fruits are consumed by different type of organisms, and the seeds will be thrown in other place. Development of fruit and seeds play a significant role, students, in the development of new plants. So in this video, students, we discussed about fruits, seeds and their significances. Whereas in the next video, we will discuss about outbreeding devices, which is asked for 3 marks 2 times. Hope the contents of this video are clear. Thank you.